A clash of generations this is. Moon, of course, has been dictating the game and dominating the game since this game came out, basically. He might have missed the beta tournament, but afterwards, this game is synonymous with the name Moon. And 120, he rose to the occasion. Only in 2015, back then, Moon already had 14, 15 years of competitive Warcraft, $500,000 in prize money. But then it was 120, conquering the scene, redefining Undead, picking up the scraps from Ted, who was moving into inactivity slowly but steady. But yeah, he brought Undead to the level it is today with World Championships at WGL. We see already a change by Moon. He's back to the Keeper of the Grove. Apfelsinenbaum, thank you for gifting a sub. We've seen shades of that recently. Knusperhoden, thank you for the 350 euros. It's always sunny in Warcraft Delphia. We'll see how sunny it is for 120 once he gets covered in roots. This is the change that we've been talking about for quite a while. This meta is in steady change since the arrival of a Demon Hunter. It was one of the matchup with the most variety before already, with Mass Air, Mass Dryads, Bears, sometimes a Warden here and there. Now, you can either play Demon Hunter, Keeper. On the Undead side, you have a lot of different styles as well. You can go for an expansion, you can go for a tower push, you can go for Gargs sometimes on certain maps. With that expansion, of course. But yeah, definitely the new flavor of expanding on more maps than like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the new tower pushes. You gotta be ready for a lot. There's a lot of different strategies to open up with, and maybe the Keeper is the best choice to cover all of them. You can defend against tower pushes because you can entangle the Acolyte and the summons do a lot. Same goes for Undead expansions that you can pressure with Treants. And we got a big mana potion for Moon right off the bat. For him, it's gonna be incredibly important. Nice detonate to skeletons. Incredibly important to get the staff. That's key to victory for Moon. I think this has always been the case. And these guys, oh, Butt Crumbs with the 5 gifties. Thank you very much. 210 subs gifted to this channel. You are a saint, my friend. 120. No sacrificial skull right there. No expansion. And not even a faked expansion, as he's exposed to the Keeper. And if you're exposed to a Keeper, you're exposed to Entangle. Is Moon willing to commit the big mana potion here already? They want to trade early units. Coil is there. That's 2 coils forced. The big strength in the early game for Undead in recent meta has been these ghouls in that base over and over and over again. Archer falls eventually as 120 returns, but that's the last bit of mana he got. And that, wow, the denies though. It's pretty sick. So the Keeper is not making strides towards level 3, which is the important level for him. But the ghouls are not in the Night Elf base, and I think this can always be accounted as a win for the Night Elf. If the wisps aren't falling, and now the next win by getting the staff. There's no way to cancel this staff play for an Undead if he's not going like Dreadlord very late in the game. And Moon can dictate where stuff is happening now. Moving into or towards the Undead base, Archers continue to creep for that level 3. Moon did, by the way, get rid of that mana potion. So that's why he can use more Entangle and Treants right now. But the DK is also there with plus 11 damage already. Trying to defend this by himself. Pretty stable match for both of them. Handful of ghouls falling, handful of archers falling. I think in general this is better for the Night Elf. You want to rotate out of archers anyway, where the ghouls hold very good value in the later stages of the game. And so I would account this early game is going towards Moon. You got an incredible amount of map control now with the staff, with the entangle. You can creep like crazy with the treants. And he's even setting up an expansion. Moon going for an Ancient of Wind, and this has been, next to Mass Dryads, his best win strategy. Mass Air. Undeads struggled against it, against Mass Air. That was with a little bit of a stronger... Oh, wow! He had to cancel the tech because the Acolyte just ran into the Keeper. That is not a great start for 1-0 at all. Here's level 3 and one more entangle after this. He wanted to build the slaughterhouse. Instead, he's being caught and killed. But we still got a Lich. We got plus 16 damage and the archers are exposed. Moon still got a Wisp that he can staff onto, and the Demon Hunter now has a job to creep. Good start into the series. It's been this way with 1-0 more often than not, that his starts into a best of 3, best of 5. It's oftentimes a little slow. Another claw. Can this Lich carry the fights alone later? More or less alone. 1-0 sees himself exposed to Mass Air. Knows about it now. DK surrounded. He has no TP. This cannot happen. This cannot happen. Yeah, of course, you're playing against the Keeper. There's Entangle. It's crowd control. But boy, oh boy. Suiciding the DK. He wanted to harass, of course. You want to do some damage when you're at your weakest. But this is a phenomenal position in the game now. DK back from the tavern. This is almost unwinnable from here on out. Nova Steel. Alright. DK is back, is passing the claws now. Absolutely needs to. Whoa, this is not the super hype game that we all expected. This is Moon dominant so far. Butt Crumbs with another 5 gifties. You seem to be hype. That's good. Incredible game for Moon so far. When everybody is playing Money to Black with a 44-month resub. Wish you a good night from a mining camp in Papua New Guinea Highlands. Damn, that sounds interesting. How do you back into a game like this? Yesterday, 1-0 had some late game setups that looked unwinnable versus Happy, and then in the fights, he started to shine. And his kiting game is very strong. Once he gets the fiends out, once he gets the web out. But he's not there yet. He has one fiend and one fiend only. No web, no upgrades whatsoever. Oh, getting creep checked here now. And that is this. Was it a steal? I'm not too sure. DK got experience. Lich didn't. Maybe it was a wasted Nova then. No staff on the Demon Hunter. Might just fall. Is 1-0 coming back into this game? He absolutely is. Oh, wow. Feels like both players need a little coffee after this game. DK dead in the mid game. Demon Hunter dead in the mid game. Those are very, very important heroes. Don't count 1-0 out. Moon also with the Tavern Revive. 1-0, unfortunate drops in the boots of Kel'Thuzad. Doesn't really need agility. And this time there is a staff. Yeah, life-saving item of course, but that gives The Lich level 3, a more powerful Nova. We got Frost Armor instead of Dark Ritual, which is crucial versus Mass Air, as there is no Dispel against it. Bierdosen Ritter, thank you for the gifted sub as well. Here's a push, and that's a big one. 120 has no TP, only one invul potion. And this is the last time that ghouls matter. Big fight. No way to kite, really. This was the way before the Demon Hunter patch. Backstab the undead, make it impossible to retreat, and hero focus galore. Naga can control the Demon Hunter. Little bit of a potion staffed out after the nuke. And in the meantime, the air army is decimating this DK HP pool. There's no coil currently. Went of Mana Stealing off cooldown now. Switching the target. A little indecisive by Moon. Maybe one coil should be up if he finds something to burn. And this army of 120, it doesn't look that strong. Ancient of War is gone. Lich damage is of course absurd, but it's not enough. He's getting his way out of there. No damage towards the expansion done at all. And now no statues are left. That's a big thing. You need the region now. You want to heal up. You want more mana. It's still super tough for 120. But Coil Nova, you know it. And of course Moon is trading favorably. He barely lost anything. Just 2 Hippo Riders apparently. 120. Uh-oh, here we go. On to the Naga. This spell was alright, but the Naga is so hurt. You can't stay in this fight without losing anything. 2 Fiends. And from here on out, it seems like it's just a big Night Elf snowball. A snowball that's in the air. Whatever that means then. We got more coils, so that would have been a point blank kill. That's why we TP out. 120. Only lost the ghouls. He's trading XP for level 4 DK, which is enormous to get more movement speed. Moon needs upgrades soon. This is a little counterintuitive. Because of the winds, you don't need a Hunter Soul. But you need upgrades to stay competitive the later the game goes. Moon is only tier 2. That means his army will be weaker. It will just be more. So here we go, fighting again. Tanking with the DK is totally fine. 2 invul potions on 120 as well. Lich and Naga, they're doing the damage. Always the Destroyer is up. I wonder if the prioritization by Moon is the right one. He's hunting down the statues now, but Insane saves 3 HP on the staff. Wonderfully done, but oh, there's no mana burn anymore. 120 is holding on to that Wand of Mana Stealing for a long time. Now uses it. Might see an opening here, but probably just saving units with it, like that Fiend. That Lich is such a damage machine. A kingdom for a heal scroll now, though. As the tickle damage of fairies, it's ramping up. Moon still with a supply lead, but the lead must be bigger. And this is problematic now. This is problematic now. 1, 2, 3, 4 fairies caught. And for the first time in this game, 120 is claiming the lead with 1,000 gold in the bank. He just stopped losing units. And we got statues on. Moon in dire straits. I feel like he's very indecisive when it comes to these fights. There's no clear target. He starts with the DK, then switches over a little bit, but there's a statue right there. Oh my god, the nuke on the Demon Hunter staff is on cooldown. It was on the verge of being active, and GG. This game, it was in Moon's pocket. It was done. It was over after the early game. But I keep telling you guys, I said it in the middle of the game. Yesterday, there were some situations where it looked like 120 is far down and he fought his way back in, and that's exactly What happened here? Oh, that was big. Moon never get the necessary army up. Not the necessary mass. His army was weak. It's all... The downfall started with the Demon Hunter kill in the middle. When he wasn't ready. There was no staff for him. Overcommitted to that camp. And from there on out, it was all 1-2-0. Picking up momentum. Establishing the army. More fiends. More web. Good kiting game. Always statues on the ground. Always 2 destroyers in the air. Dispel against whatever the keeper is throwing at you. And no tier 3, no upgrades. Then all of a sudden, even 60, 65 supply ferries is weak. Oof. Tough. Both players with mistakes. Kesanaveral, thank you for the 14-month resub. Good to see that 1-2-0 didn't throw in the towel after the early losses. He knew his win condition. Based on the damage output of the Lich, he was able to stay competitive for a while. And Moon didn't... Like, that Demon Hunter loss cannot happen. There was a DK loss for 1-2-0, a free expo for Moon more or less, a cancelled tech for 1-2-0, a lost acolyte, a delayed slaughterhouse, and still Moon wasn't able to close the game. We've seen this very, very differently from Moon, and he needs to bring his absolute A game now. Different strategies, maybe. Definitely a possibility. We're on Amazonia. This is Moon's loser's choice. Northern Isles was the neutral ground. Throw in the towel is surrendering? Yes. It's used in fighting sports or combat sports. The coach can throw in a towel as a sign of surrender when the boxer or fighter isn't willing to do so on his own. Tech wasn't cancelled, it finished right then. No, the Lich was already in production. That was a tier 3. That was a tier 3 tech that was cancelled. Otherwise he couldn't have built the slaughterhouse. So, back to Demon Hunter it is. And 1-2-0, he's been, even before Labyrinth, he was a fan of tower pushing here. If he can keep the acolyte up, maybe. But, okay. Nope. Oh, he's allowing the acolyte to live? No, he's not. No skull, just a dagger. Town portal sold. That's what 1-2-0 and Happy do in almost every matchup nowadays. So was this defeat on Northern Isles already a mental defeat? Moon is not looking to relax anymore, is he? Ooh, 1-2-0 with a 24 supply ghoul. But tech has started, okay. No shenanigans, just straight up. Shout out to everyone in chat who's discussing mistakes in gameplay rather than Just talking about balance. I really appreciate that. Unironically, it's always very nice to see. So yeah, this map should be Moon favored. It's his first loser's choice pick. It's a strong Night Elf pick. Woo, dodging bullets there. He got a lot of damage. He can tank quite a bit. And he's delaying the level 3 DK. As he's probably waiting for boots. Thank you, Hubert Gockel, for the 30-month resub. It feels like a very different game. It obviously is a very different game, thanks to the first hero being changed by Moon. Not focused on expansions, rather straight up play. See a Hunter's Hall already. He can still expand on the left hand side. It's relatively easy to do for Night Elves here, but then it's pushable with tier 3. We see once again how different 1-0 is playing this matchup compared to Happy, who's always looking for the aggressive, who's always trying to get into your base against the Wisps, against Moonwells. 1-0 isn't doing that. Randale Ralph, thank you for the 3-month resub. 1-0 rather focused on his own tier 3. Here comes the Naga. Dude, he is so in love with that hero. No Lich second, just more tempo. Sean Wright, thank you very much. Can I turn up the volume? I don't think so. There we go. Very, very, very good control. This is 1-0 dominance so far, but Moon is fighting for the Taskmaster. In the end, with the Demon Hunter this hurt, he shouldn't be able to get it. Maybe a sneaky steal somehow. Nope, not really. This is usually the other way around. It's usually the Undead trying to creep the spot on his side, and he's been harassed by the Night Elf. This is problematic for Moon. Counter Naga. But without Mana Burn 2, he's actually far away from Mana Burn 2. And 1-0 is just soaking up the map for now. Oh, he's walking into the creeps. That's some damage that you can't really recover from at the moment. Another kill. Whoa. This doesn't look like a loser's map for Moon. He got a strong Demon Hunter. He's getting there for level 3. But the big push is yet to come. You want to hurt the undead. You want to weaken and delay the undead. That's not happening. Oh wow, Engine of War just falling. Prevents an easy creep. And like that, you can't compete with 1-0. Moon has tier 3. He's probably gonna get an orb. Talents are on the way. Oh, items on the ground? DK was gonna pick it up. Yeah, and that's what I was a little afraid of. Is Moon broken after that loss on game 1? It's not coming together. It's not the same rhythm, not the same flow as we've seen yesterday. And this game will probably be decided within the next 2 minutes. Talents? Can he produce some talents? There's no web for a long time. There is obviously Fork Lightning Coil against them. Big mana potion for 1-0. Perfect drop. And now Nova against them too. Moon is ramping up production. Macro is coming together. But 1-0's creeping is so fast. Moon is still waiting for 2 of the bears. 1-0 is here, need to retreat. No level 2 Fork Lightning against the ghouls is a problem. Heroes in general, a lot weaker. We got talents up, we go burrow first, over web. And the first bear has been nuked immediately. You want to use the spells before the Demon Hunter burns it all. And that's exactly what we're getting here. Tickle damage from the Fork Lightning level 1. Statues in the back. Super safe. If not for the creeps, that's a little bit of help here. 1-0 not morphing any destroyers as he sees the talons against him. He's just nuking everything that's on the ground. Wind of Mana Stealing used as well. These talents are useless in this situation. I mean, they prevent destroyers, but they're not doing much. I think you should put them on the ground and use Fairy Fire. But it's so stressful. Oh my god, these bears are just getting demolished. A couple of kills now on the ghouls, but it's still a huge force. The heroes are about to be dead. Reju! Wanted to end the game right here, right now. And that is not the case. Now we see some Fairy Fire immediately resulting in a kill on the Fiend. That's the play that I was hoping for. And with that, he's pushing 1-0 back for now. Moon's alive. Depleted all the Moon Juice, invested into items, but Moon's alive. And this Talon is a nice debuff now. Also, solid damage versus ghouls if they're on the ground. They do hold value even without destroyers. It's not a super binary unit. But what about the heroes? Are they strong enough? Fork Lightning level 2 will go a long way. 1-0. Move back. Got the shop. Got the invul, got the heal scroll. And has the time for web. Supply-wise, we're still in the same territory. Moon had to invest quite a bit into tech. Bear Master. Talon Adept. He's missing an orb though. That would go a long way. Funny how the early game on game 1 was all Moon and then it shifted. And this early game was all 1-0 and now it's starting to shift a little bit. Not saying that Moon is in a good spot or anything, but it's not looking super hopeless. Can he connect to the Destro? They melt against these crows if they're in range. One is down, the second one is down. List of prioritization clearly on the crows. But in the meantime, bears can do some damage to fiends and ghouls alike. But it's not enough. It's not enough at all. He couldn't get the Destro kill. There's a second one online now. And that's of course more Dispel against Roar and especially Reju. Still no orb. He can't afford the orb because he constantly has to rebuild units. A-bombs coming in. Interesting. Not too sure if I'm a biggest fan, but I'm a huge fan of this Coil Nova Demon Hunter walking way too close to the undead army, giving the game away 2-0. Just like that. Oh, this might be a quickie here. We're only 30 minutes in the series. And it's match points. Moon is struggling. What a start to the series it was. What a gift he got handed by 1-0 on Northern Isles. And since that mid-game, it's all falling apart. Horrendous early game here. For a map like Amazonia, where it can accelerate, you can level to 3 so fast. 1-0 found a way to contest the bottom right. That early surround of the Demon Hunter cost a lot already, and that took all wind out of Moon's sails. Ooh! In March, the winner bracket final was also the grand final, and we are one map away from having that repeated with different players though. In March there was no 1-2-0. When there's no 1-2-0, Lin can breeze through the bracket. Not the case here. Lin eliminated early on. What's next? What's next for Moon? Is it desperation already? Desperate times? It is Concealed Hill, a map where he felt really comfortable recently. And again, since some talks in the chat are getting out of hand, I raise a disclaimer. I'm pretty sensitive to balance talk nowadays, so don't be surprised if I time out a couple of people. Moon, what now? Keeper? Demon Hunter? If he wants to be super tricky, could play Warden, but not on this map really. Demon Hunter. The meta plays. He needs to get a level 3 Demon Hunter. He needs to get the boots. He needs to bully and get ready for the frenzy push. For 1-0, it's pretty straightforward. Ghouls, Fiends, Statue, Destroyers, push. It is one of the biggest power spikes in all of Warcraft. You can make the decision whether you want to harass early or you want to creep early. With 1-0's playstyle, as I said, it's mostly creeping. Is 1-0 getting some PTSD from Concealed Hill? The game 5 against Happy. Over in 7 minutes without any tier 3. Immolation creeping. That is a jump start on this map. Turtles fast, orange spot fast, even the shop can be crept fast. Ironically, Moon's best matchups are a little different from what they were historically. Moon was always a god against orc, human, And also undead. Only his mirror was weak nowadays. His mirror is one of the strongest. He figured that one out. Colorful felt it. 1-0 again. No skull. No Narup. Staff play. Immolation can do a lot here. As the ghouls are hurt, not regening. But 1-0 with a great response. Physical damage on the Demon Hunter, hurt ghouls to the side. No real space for the demon, and that is some lost time for creeping. Oh wow, this is bad. This is real bad. You don't want to give up the town portal. But you're so hurt. This is so much moon juice already. I'm not too sure that this level 2 harass is the right play. He's allowing level 3 DK in no time. He's depleting all his moon juice. He tried to be fancy and sneaky and tried to open up the map quite a bit with that staff play, but that backfired hard because 1-0's response was perfect. Oh no! He got the last hit with the right click. He had archers there, immolation there, his own attack there. And 1-0 just steps in. Not even with an invis or something. Just like that. Alone in Heaven, thank you for the 6-month resub. Whatever it takes. Or how my heart breaks, I will always be there waiting for you. Naga second once again. Smooth series for 1-0 after the Demon Hunter kill on Northern Isles. Six minutes 30 till level 3. No boots on the Demon Hunter. Moon vs Undead. It's a problematic matchup for him for sure. Other Night Elves do a lot better. Like a Lawlight, like a Colorful. Against the different style of Labyrinth, he was ready. Against expansions and tower pushes, but the straight up frenzy push, that's peak Undead vs Night Elf. Even a rat spot. Yeah, can't be contested really. Katka's pipe. Let's freaking go. This all feels like a warm-up. A warm-up for 1-0 for the real challenge. Moon is switching gears from harassing as much as he can to leveling as much as he can. But that's the same for 1-0. No Naga this time, by the way. just straight up Lich. There's the Naga now. Bigger burst then? Rune braces would be fantastic, I guess. Devotional Aura not too bad. And here comes the push. This is frenzy timing already. 8:45. Everything clumped up. GNL Bears. Oh, Master Bears isn't even ready. There's no chance. Even with Moonwells, even with the shop, even with home turf advantage. Just no. I thought that Moon just has this mental block against Happy and can't compete. But no. Moon's kryptonite is the ghoul push. The Demon Hunter gotta carry this hard. And I don't see how. Fork Lightning can take out some ghouls if you want to. Bears are ready now. But in comparison to Amazonia, we don't have the talents up. Bears and Dryads it is. Coil Nova. Potion, last second. Moon is trying absolutely everything to stay in this game and this series. But I think it's the bronze medal that he'll have at the end of the month. Moon supply blocked at 40. And Necromancer domination. Another nuke. It's just a slow and painful death. The timings didn't work out. And in the fights, like 1-0 was just a lot better. Moon had some ideas that were neat. Like the staff play here. Like reintroducing the Keeper on Northern Isles. But whatever he came up with, it didn't work. That's a thankful series for 1-0 as well. I think he would have had more trouble facing Keeper. Facing Keeper and Mass Air, because against that, the ghoul timing isn't really working that way. Against everything that comes from the lore, I think the ghoul push is working exceptionally well. Not really sure why he lost faith in that strat after map 1. Keeper looked so good. How many potions can you buy, Moon? 37 supply only. A Fork Lightning? Not enough damage. The positioning by 1-0 is too good. That is like heal potion number 4 or 5. So many statues on the ground. And of course the Katka's pipe is working on it as well. Production buildings are falling. And yeah, how do you get an army now? I don't think you do. I don't think there's a chance. Moon needs a miracle or a herd of cats jumping onto 1-0's PlayStation, lol. Demon Hunter survives one more time. He's laughed death in the face 6 to 7 times now. But yeah, Moon, it's impossible. It's been the Achilles heel of Night Elves for a long time now. GG 3-0. The frenzy push. There he is again. Bad game 2 and 3 by Moon. He was seriously broken in the middle of game 1. When the Demon Hunter fell, Moon fell. That was an easy series for 1-0. And compared to what we've seen throughout the past couple of weeks, a very weak Moon. Consistency is not necessarily with him these days. And then you get beat. You just get beat. I really like the reintroduction of Keeper. That was nice. That was a good early game. Total roadblock for the DK and the ghouls. Also in the fights. Like, the fights didn't look too great for Moon, to be honest, but that was wrong focus fire. He could have improved upon that. But in the end, again, just like in March, our winner bracket final is the grand final. The next game, everybody, is an absolute dream match. It's a nowadays classic. It is Happy versus 1-2-0 in a best of 7. And in March, the loser of the winner bracket was the winner in the grand final. There's no advantage coming from the winner's bracket, only that you don't have to play 2 series in a row. But if you play a series like this against Moon, it was chill, it was stressless, it was motivating. And now we get the 2 best undead players in the world facing each other for the crown of April. 160 points on the line, I think. 150 points on the line. And good prize money. More or less half of the $5,000 go to the winner. 1-2-0, man, what a phenomenon. Not playing competitively for 2 months or 2.5 months straight, coming back, boom, grand final. Incredible. On his way here, he has eliminated Lawliot and Lin and now Moon. That's impressive. We're gonna throw you guys into a small little break. Check out backtowarcraft.com/support if you want more competitive Warcraft and if you want to keep the lights on here. See you in a bit.